guys, and welcome back to the Moderately Interesting Podcast, episode number... What episode?
7? I think it's 7.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Okay, episode number 7, and my name is Jeffrey.
I'm Angelia.
And we're engaged, and we are doing an episode today on digital marketing, kind of like what I do for a living.
Yeah, because we did it for me, so let's do one for you.
Yeah. First, before we jump into things, I'm sorry this podcast is going out a little bit late. It's been a crazy...
As I'm sure you all know, it's been a little nuts.
Yeah, for pretty much everyone out there. Mm-hmm. So, sorry about that. But we are back for this week, and we're jumping right into things. So, I don't know. Where do you want to just jump into it?
So, like, where did you go to school for?
Okay. Okay, cool. So, technically, I went to school for more of like programming and IT. When I was younger, I wanted to get into video games and like programming and stuff like that. So I went to school for programming and IT. And then, so I took like, your basic programming classes like C++, Visual Basics. I took databasing and like, just like computer organization and like all these like other like more like IT based classes. That's what I thought I was going to go into. And then I took a website programming class. And then I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. I took the first level, and then I kind of moved on to the next level. And then I realized I kind of liked doing that more than doing anything else. I don't know why. It was just like doing the website stuff just seemed to be a little bit more fun to me. It like kind of actually brought me back to like the old MySpace days when you used to do like the custom like your themes and stuff like that. It brought me back to like that type of days. So yeah, I don't know. So that's kind of like, I don't know, like as I was taking my classes, and then I started moving more into just doing like straight like website programming and stuff like that, like front end website programming. I don't know. It's kind of strange. So so I started off really wanting to do like hardcore like programming, like doing like applications. I really wanted to go into video games and like coding in that. And then it kind of just like shifted to slowly more as I was going through school, figuring out what I liked, what I didn't like. It kind of just morphed into that. I don't know.
So how long, all in all, how long have you been in the field?
In the field now?
Yeah.
Honestly, technically I started when I was in college. So, long story short, while I was still in college, I actually got a job doing the website at the place we worked at.
Yeah, where we met.
Yes. That was kind of by chance, kind of me just reaching out and being like, hey, you guys need someone? And they were just like, yeah, we could use someone. So it started off then. That was, I don't know how long that was. 14, 15?
2014, I
2014?
think.
Jesus.
Because I started working there in 2015, and you were already doing that. But I was hired like New Year's of 2015. They called me on New Year's Day. So it had to be sometime in 2014. Yeah,
it was 14. And man, that's kind of crazy to think about. Wow.
6 years ago.
Yeah, 6 years ago. And things are so different now than they were back then. So I guess like 6 years I've been like doing that.
So what exactly do you do?
Okay. So what I technically do is digital marketing. Now, whenever you say that, people like immediately you're like, oh, marketing, we get that. But it really is kind of it's a newer thing that's just been like it's basically it's pretty new, and like this, especially in this type of area where there aren't like places that are a little bit more, I guess, progressive, or they've been like easy adopting stuff. Like it's not new for them, but like places around here where they're, or like smaller businesses, it's like a completely new concept to them. Digital marketing. So what exactly is it? It's marketing, but digitally. And I feel like a lot of jobs in a lot of places, especially around here, or like smaller businesses, they don't even know like what to hire for. A lot of times they're just like, we need someone to do Facebook Instagram maybe, and do all these other stuff. So a lot of like these smaller businesses and stuff like that, they don't fully even know what they need.
Well, like what they can take advantage of.
Yeah. Yeah. And like they're just like we don't know. We just need someone to do this stuff. Yeah, and I feel like with digital marketing, you can come at it at so many different angles. Like, for me, for example, I came into it more with the IT aspect of the website programming and then doing, taking on more and more tasks and learning more and more. But it really is, like, digital marketing in itself it's essentially when you're doing marketing online or marketing inside the more, I guess, technology-based like mediums, and that could be spread out through a ton of different platforms. So that's the one thing. It's always evolving and it's always changing. Like things from 6 years ago, things that we were doing 6 years ago is not working now. Things that we're doing now is not going to be working probably in 2 years.
So like, what are the things you learned? Like, what are some specific examples?
Okay.
Like,
so
how you went from like building websites to
doing it now.
Yeah.
Right.
Because it is kind of like, for people that understand the like industry, that's like a pretty big jump.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like a little cornerstone.
Yeah.
Of what you do now.
Yes. Okay. So, right. So like starting off. So like yeah. Before in the past, I was mostly doing just online like. Yeah, I started off back like building websites, like just like the old traditional form, building websites straight like HTML, JavaScript, and like CSS, doing like the old school building it out. Actually, we used to build it out in Adobe. What was the thing? Dreamweaver. Yeah, so it's like the real old school way of doing things, like manually doing it. Now there's like so many different platforms you can build a pretty decent site pretty quickly. Yeah, you can use Wix, use WordPress, and a lot of different other platforms and stuff like that. So, like, back in the day, things were just done a lot differently. But, like, some of the tools that we were using, like, just even going back to, like, looking at, like, what Google Ads were. They were AdWords back then. And just the way that system was laid out. Google Analytics and everything has just changed so much just from then until now. And just even looking at like some of the things that we were doing, like for example, Facebook. I feel like most people, you have some grasp of Facebook. Facebook marketing, like if you do like a Facebook fan page or anything like that, before in the past, like you can get a lot of shares, a lot of likes, and a lot of like traffic organically to your pages just by sharing it. Now Facebook, the algorithm's completely different. It's pay to play basically. It's like you have to boost the post, you have to pay to get any traction on anything right now. And that's just because it's just the algorithm has changed and they've adapted. And so it's just like as marketers on that platform, you have to adapt with that. So like definitely like in the past, like doing Facebook stuff. Like I remember I was running the Facebook page like back then.
Oh God, that's like
remember, and then we
something like real deep in my brain.
Yeah, and then we broke it up into different Facebook pages for each store, and that wasn't a great. I mean,
I feel like it was a lot of work.
Yeah,
and we also like posted on Craigslist.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
That was good, but.
It was try something, see what works, but
yeah.
It's just that's really funny to look back on because that's very much not how things are done now. Yeah,
and it was crazy when you start thinking about it, like, oh yeah, that's complete, like that's not the way things are done at all now.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, but for me now, like what I mostly do, help out with some IT stuff with the website, but I mostly run like our Google Ads. I do Amazon ads, now looking at Walmart ads, eBay ads, even like email marketing on all these other different platforms, and and then also like on my own personal stuff, I do like a lot of the YouTube side of things and like SEO and like all these different things.
So like, do you want to know how I explain to people what you do?
Yes.
I'm like, okay, so like, when you're talking about something and then those ads start to show up on your phone.
Yeah.
That's what Jeff does.
Oh yeah, that's a good yeah. It's a very simple way to put it. Like, yeah, you see those like really creepy ads, like when you start like just like talking about something, they're like, hey, why do I see these ads popping up in my feed? Yeah, that's pretty much what I do. And that's the thing.
That's the only way I know how to explain it.
Yeah, and the way like all that's changed, it's a changing platform. Like Facebook, for example, they got in trouble because they were some of the like in the back end of things when you're looking at targeting different people, because you can target people through like their demographic, like basically like it was for Facebook, like, you know, what your income level was, if you're a single parent, if you lived in a certain area, what your occupation was, if you put in your occupation based upon you know,
because everybody does, if you think about it.
Yeah,
you're putting where you went to school, where you work.
Yep.
What your hometown is,
yeah,
where you live now, like that's all in your like intro on your page. Like,
yeah,
people don't realize like, oh wait, like I'm giving them all this information.
Yeah, yeah, and the way you can be back in the day was you can be very, very specific when you targeted people, but now they've changed it, and so it's not as specific. But honestly, I think that I don't know. That's what I mean. Like, there's a lot of stuff, though, even though, like, what we can control, we're still leaving some of it up to, like, Facebook, for example. So, like, in theory, it's like, okay, I can give them, like, these parameters, but, you know, like, I want this ad to go to, but I secretly think that they're actually still targeting much more, like, specifically.
Yeah.
You know, but, yeah, you can do that on multiple different platforms. But yeah, so that's kind of like what I do. I'm in that whole vein of things. So yeah, so it kind of started off of mostly doing like website and like IT support and like that type of field, and then I kind of slowly and like more morphed into just doing mostly the digital marketing side of things. And yeah, I mean, but you know what I mean. But for other people though, some people get into this business because they went the more traditional marketing route. Mm-hmm. So that's what I mean. I feel like right now it's I don't want to say it's in its infancy stages, but it's like when you look at like traditional marketing that's been around for such a long time, digital marketing as we know it is still relatively new. So,
and it's so different. It's like, because one of my jobs, I worked, like, technically I was part of the marketing department, but it was, like, in person, like, in exactly, like, the exact location of where I worked, like, without giving too much away. So, like, that's a totally different thing, like, trying to, you know what I mean? Like, trying to market to someone. I feel like it's almost, and this could just be my take on things, but I feel like it's almost, like, digital marketing at this like stage is way more effective than like traditional marketing, because like there's like there's like an air of it like being like passive, you know what I mean? Because like if you're in someone's, not in their face, but if you're like in real life talking to someone trying to get them to buy something, like no. We all know how that feels.
I know, you know
what I mean? So I feel like with like digital marketing, it's a lot more like passive. Like, somebody is doing the same thing, like buy this, like look at, you're gonna keep seeing the ad until you buy it, but like it's not like someone like literally handing you an ad, you know what I mean? So it I think it's just like a little less direct. Or at least feels that way, even though everything is like very intentional.
Right. And even like even with with this election with Bloomberg, of how he just jumped in and
I don't know who that is.
Remember all the ads we're seeing on YouTube? The one dude, basically he like jumped in and like he just spent a ton of money, and just his ad was just going not, which honestly whoever was running that campaign was probably bad, because like we kept seeing the same ad. Like it literally made me be like, I'm not gonna vote for you because I've seen your, like it's annoying.
Your ad like 40 times and I'm annoyed with it.
It's just like I don't want to do it.
I don't know who that is. I'm like one of those consumers that absolutely like zones out. Like I'm like the worst.
It's alright. But so I mean that's kind of what that is. I mean, but like if I can just talk about kind of like, I don't know.
Talk about whatever you want.
Okay,
this is our podcast. Like, do you think digital marketing is gonna like just get bigger and bigger and bigger? Because like at this point, it's obviously not gonna go away. We've shifted into such like a technology heavy society. Yeah,
for sure. Like I definitely think that digital marketing is the future, as we know it, because of. I think we were even talking about this before, how like with the Super Bowl, of how companies were paying millions of dollars to get a Super Bowl commercial for, I don't know how long it was, like 30 seconds, however long. Remember, I forgot. All the companies, they like did one together. That was kind of cool.
That was very clever.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. They were like, look,
you guys
let's
all
save some money.
split the cost.
Yeah,
and we're still here talking about it. So.
Yeah, I mean, that was pretty cool. I just remember Mr. Clean was in it. I think.
And it was like, I think it was like Pepsi.
Yeah, it was like a whole bunch of
like just a bunch of.
Yeah, that was kind of cool, but so companies, they can spend millions of dollars doing that.
I know, because we were talking about like I'm sure it's still crazy expensive, but like, is it even worth it anymore? Like, so many people.
Yeah, because there's like it's like a whole bunch of people are watching that game. I mean, and they do have a quote unquote breakout of like, okay, we can expect we're gonna have women of this age group and this, you know what I mean? So it's like, yes, they do have the traditional marketing forms of they have their demographics probably broken out, but it's still, there's so much unknown. I mean, granted, though, in the digital marketing world, there is some unknown as well, but
I feel like when we were kids, like, the world stopped when the Super Bowl was on.
Yeah.
And it's not like that anymore.
Yeah, it's not at all.
Like, of course, there's going to be, like, your diehard football fans that care, but, like, I wouldn't say, like, the audience is as big as it used to be.
Yeah.
Like,
I think
people
that's
will be like, oh, what are the highlights later? Or like, oh, who won?
Yeah, even with a lot of, like, sports stuff going on, like legitimately, like, people are just, like, watching the highlights later on.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, oh, yeah, cool, I can just pull it up, you know what I mean? Yeah, but that's the thing, though. Companies can spend millions of dollars doing that. Or you can spend, do a budget of, what, 10 grand and do a digital marketing campaign, and you can reach a ton of different people, get a ton of different views on something, either through Facebook, probably not Facebook right now. You can use Google ads, doing their display ads, doing YouTube ads. You can do a video ad. If you're serving like a specific product, going directly on like Amazon, eBay, Walmart. I mean, just depending on what you're trying to actually like advertise towards people, there's so many different platforms that you can actually advertise towards the people that you want to advertise towards and go to them specifically, and you can have a budget of $10,000,
like a fraction of what a Super Bowl commercial costs.
And
like, who do you think like the big ones are? The big like like players.
Advertising. Well, right now, okay, so Google Ads, it's still, in like the more traditional sense, Google Ads is definitely like up there.
Yeah.
You have other things, like there was Gemini, which was Yahoo, which technically it does exist. There was Jet.
But does it?
Yeah. There was Jet, which was another thing, but Walmart just bought them out. I mean, they're like not really operating that much. So you have Bing Ads, which is, still actually, it's not a lot. There's people still use Bing. You use the older demographic, but Google Ads is definitely like one of the big things. Right now, if you're doing a specific products like on Amazon, like big Amazon sellers, Amazon ads right now is blowing up. Like Amazon right now is blowing up to the point where it's going to take over a lot of other platforms. Like Walmart and Target, they're trying to fight it. Along with other retailers in like the digital space, especially like I think we were talking about this before, like Target now they're doing that like pull up. You can pull up and they'll like bring the groceries out to you.
Well, right now everybody's doing that.
Yeah, yeah. Well, they were experimenting with that because they're trying to battle with Amazon. But right now, Amazon is like legitimately, they're making I won't say they're making Google sweat, but they're making a lot of people sweat as far as their whole algorithm as well, the way things are sorted, the way things are like just built out. It truly is like you're doing you have to do optimization of like your listings on Amazon to even rank.
So like, what does that mean?
Oh yeah. Right, I should probably bring that back a second.
Like, so, you've explained to me.
Okay, I'm sorry.
But, like, what does that mean?
When we start talking about this stuff, I get super excited. I just start going into it. So, long story short, optimization. Search engine optimization, SEO, which I started doing that, like, before I started doing, like, the ads and stuff like that. I was doing a lot of that aspect. And that's going back towards with doing website programming and stuff like that. It's all about optimizing your website for Google and for Bing, but no one really cares. But mostly for Google. So Google really can read your site and let it rank well when you search for something online. So optimization. So, whatever. So if someone searches for, I don't know, green socks, your thing would show up, hopefully.
Like the first, as high a result as you can get it.
Yes. And so now for Amazon, because before it was different, like Amazon has learned things from Google and like all these other platforms. They're learning stuff from other legacy platforms. So Amazon essentially, they've learned from Google. Now their algorithms is completely different. Like to get your, like if when you type in like green socks in Amazon, there's like a million different things that can pop up. But now it's like you have to, your listing has to be so optimized and like with like the right pictures, the right like description. It has to have all like the reviews and all this other stuff for your thing to come up within like the first 10. So it really is like Amazon truly is the next like big player in like all of, if I guess they're not the next, they are the big player. As far as like, it's kind of strange, they're like becoming their own search engine, which is kind of crazy. But the one thing I did want to mention,
yes,
is going into the whole YouTube side of things. Even like why we're even doing this. Like some people think of this YouTube, like when you hear people saying like, oh, you're doing YouTube or something like that.
Like, oh, that's a fun little thing.
Yeah, people are like, that's a fun little hobby, right? Here's the thing. So, part of my job is I have to be up with all of the new like trends and like people inside the industry who are search engine optimization people, I guess more entrepreneur type of people or like digital marketing type of people. A lot of people are saying this, and this is the honest to God truth. YouTube right now, because YouTube, think about this for 1 second. YouTube is the second largest search engine after Google, but Google owns YouTube, so they're pretty much the same. YouTube right now is such a great platform for businesses and to grow businesses and to expand. As in like even for like we were talking about like some of the people that you started watching like back when you were like how long ago?
What?
Like Jenna Marble, how long has she been on YouTube? Since like the beginning.
I think she just hit her 10-year anniversary this year.
And I mean, they're living good, right?
Yeah.
They're living real good.
But
they've been 10 years of
I feel like
she branched off.
She is on a whole different level. You know what I mean? Like she has 20 million subscribers.
Yes.
There are very few people who are like 20 million and above.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like there's like whatever his face is. What is his name? Oh my God, he plays games.
Oh, PewDiePie?
Yes. Like there's him. Obviously he has way more. But,
right.
Like I feel like the threshold of people that are like 20,000 above is crazy. Like there are people at like 6 and 7, like Gabby Hanna. Like she also has like a multi-million-dollar home in Los Angeles, but like she's got 7.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which is like a big deal. That's still a very huge deal, but like there's a big difference between how you're living at 7 and 20.
Yeah.
And I feel like the amount of money you can make at just 7. And have a multi-million-dollar home. Yeah. Like, it's not a hobby.
Yes. And here's the thing. I mean, you got people way less than me. Like, the people I watch.
Yeah.
Well, and see, here's the other thing, though. Doing the Google ads, it's all part of YouTube as well. Because basically, advertisers, like companies, like I was saying before, they spend $10,000 if they put that into Google Ads. So let's say I'm a car company. I'm selling a exhaust, like a custom exhaust for like a Camaro or whatever. I don't know. And I'm gonna have a budget of $10,000. I'm gonna use into Google Ads. I can have like a sponsored video going. I could be targeting people like. I would target males between the age of 22 to like 30 something, and you can actually go specifically to certain videos underneath the auto category. You can go like videos that have related to Camaro stuff and stuff like that. And here's the thing where it all plays out. you're bidding up against other competitors. So basically what you're paying is it's what the market is for. So you could be paying like $1 or less than that or whatever it is. So just depending on what your competition is, whatever you're paying to play your ad in front of like a car person's video, the content creator gets a share of that and Google gets their share. And that's the reason why it depends on what you're actually making videos on, depending on like what your payout is. So this is what I mean. It's all related. All of this is related, especially with like YouTube and stuff like that. But even I was talking about with like Jenna Marbles and like what's her name?
Gabby
Hanna, or even Jeffree Star. Here's my thing. They do YouTube, but it's expanded to a business.
Yeah.
They've branched out of it.
Right, like obviously Jeffree has like
his own
his whole makeup brand, Killer Merch.
Yes.
Like he owns property, like he's an entrepreneur for real. But he didn't start on YouTube. It's just like supplemental income for him.
Yeah.
And quite a freaking bit, if you know what I mean. Like he has a lot of subscribers, but also like what was I gonna say?
Helps grow his brand or
who else are we talking about?
Gabby.
Oh, like Gabby, she does music.
And she started off from Vine.
Yes. Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Which brings me to another question, but we'll get to it later. Remind me. But you know what I mean? Like they've branched out.
Yeah.
For sure. Like Jenna has a podcast. She's been on Sirius XM for like years and years and years.
Yeah.
Like tons of stuff.
And that's what I mean when I say that doing this type of stuff, it's all related. And this is new form digital marketing. And this is what companies, like now companies are like, oh, wait, like that's not just a hobby. People are like growing businesses, like legit businesses, employing people, having a full business because of this type of stuff. So now local businesses and smaller businesses, they're just like, wait, we need to be on there. And every a lot of times, like these smaller companies, they're just like, I don't know, we need someone to do digital stuff. We need a website person to do. We don't know, but they don't. A lot of times they're just they don't know what they're hiring for. They're just like, we need someone, and they don't really know. They want you to do everything. They're like, can you edit videos? Can you take photos? Can you edit the website and do Facebook, and do Instagram, and do our email marketing, and do this and that? And like, they don't really know. I mean, but I do feel like there's a lot of potential for people. If you have a skill, like in one area, you can branch off and like learn the other skills and do all the other stuff. So there is potential to like grow in that. But like I was saying though, but with the YouTube side of things, like some of the people that I follow inside of like the digital marketing space, like another couple of other channels, couple other people, like I know Sean Cannell, he has his YouTube channel and his business where he actually helps businesses grow. And like on YouTube and on other platforms, and even like I forgot her name, Natalia something. I forgot her name. She's growing on Instagram. I mean, not Instagram, on LinkedIn, which is a whole other aspect. Now you have all these entrepreneurs and people who are on LinkedIn, and LinkedIn itself has changed. Like if you don't know what LinkedIn is, it was supposed to be like the social media thing for professionals. But now, if you haven't logged into LinkedIn in a couple years,
it's straight up like
completely different.
Another Facebook, but like
like now you can do like so many different things, and now like creators are learning how to grow their businesses on LinkedIn because now they're like they can create videos and do stuff and reach out to people, and it truly is like it is amazing like what you can do now. But just getting back to the whole like. The YouTube side of things, like with that one guy Sean Cannell, like I remember on his podcast he had on another gentleman who they helped out him with his business. He was a carpenter and he was just making stuff like in his house. He was just like a local business thing. And with him, he just started making videos of the stuff stuff that he would make. Like he would just make stuff. He started doing videos on it, and he said he started off like it was like bad and it wasn't great, but then he just kept doing it, kept on doing it, and then like after like a year or so, like he had so many views, and people were reaching out to him like, "Can you build me this? Can you build me this and that and that?" And then from there, like eventually, his business grew so much that another company came in and bought his business from him. But he stayed on as like on the board, and he still works for them and doing their digital stuff. So that's what I mean. Like businesses can grow like out of nowhere because of this. Like this is a true platform.
I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
That reminded me of the question I was going to ask you before. So like, what do you think is going to happen with TikTok?
TikTok.
You know what I mean? Because it's like crazy popular right now.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's comparable to Vine. Which,
yeah.
I mean, like we've already said, people have gotten famous off Vine. Like tons, not just Gabby. Like Liza Koshy.
Yeah.
David Dobrik.
They're
like
on TV.
the biggest. Yeah, like Liza's on Nickelodeon. Mm-hmm. Like David Dobrik has like a huge YouTube channel.
Yeah.
So like, what do you think is going to happen with TikTok? Do you think it's going to go similarly or?
Here's the one thing with TikTok, which I think it's going, and I'm not the only person who thinks this.
Uh-oh.
This isn't a hot take.
Hot take.
Oh, this isn't that hot of a take.
Lukewarm take.
The thing, just the same thing with Vine. It's hard for advertisers to advertise on it, so it's hard for them to make money. Really, that's the thing. A platform like that, like you need advertisers to like, just like with Twitch and like, what's the other one there was another one that just started off, but
Mixer?
Yeah, actually, I think you know what. Remind me about that.
About what?
Mixer, I believe it's Mixer. But long story short, there's not that many advertisers that can advertise on the platform. I think that they started rolling out some type of advertisement thing.
Yeah, when you open it, there's ads.
Yeah, but I don't know if creators are getting anything yet.
And there's ads in the middle.
Yeah.
Of your feed.
I don't know. They're trying to learn from the past mistakes of Vine. And some of these other platforms.
But, like, TikTok used to be Musical.ly, right? Like, that's already, like...
dramatically changed. Yeah. I mean, the actual editing suite is, like, pretty cool what you can do, like, within TikTok itself. But also, I feel like it's a good and bad thing. Right now, especially with everything that's going on, everyone's inside the house. You see everyone trying to make TikToks now.
Yeah, everyone's trying to be TikTok.
So the actual infrastructure behind it, like so many people are jumping into it that it has grown, and like there's so many users on it. So that does make me feel like it is going to stick around for a while. But I don't know what's going to fully come from it.
Yeah.
There's going to be people, but I feel like the one thing about TikTok, which I think is good, I don't know on Vine, back then, could you link people from Vine to like your Instagram and like stuff like that?
I honestly don't remember. It's not something I was paying attention to at the time.
So I do notice with TikTok, you can do that to either YouTube or to your Instagram. Mm-hmm. So I don't know.
And I'm like realizing, I know we talked about in a past podcast, the one TikTok guy that did like the Skyrim stuff. I literally just looked him up on YouTube. He has like a YouTube channel with like a lot of followers.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, I know.
Or subscribers, I mean.
Yeah, and you're just like, I didn't even know. Yeah.
But like, I don't even remember. But I saw one video that had like 96,000 views. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, like, this isn't a guy who is just like, I'm going to make a YouTube channel because I also have a TikTok. Like,
he's been doing this.
Yeah, and he, like, makes music. And I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I think we're living in such a great time because there's, like, there's so many outlets for what you can do.
Yeah, it's, like, a great time to be creative, I feel like.
Yeah. But, like, that's what I mean. Like, even doing YouTube or doing anything like that, mm-hmm. you should be able... You're really building a brand.
Yeah.
Like, even this podcast... Yes, it's on YouTube, but it's also on Spotify. It's also on iTunes. It should be on iTunes now, so you can definitely go check that out.
Yeah.
I posted on my website. It's too geekswithcars.com.
Shameless plug,
but that's the truth because you want to branch out. Because of I don't think it's gonna happen. What if tomorrow YouTube just dries up?
I mean, but that's with anything. That's not like I think YouTube is gonna
I don't
explode. It's just like you never want to put all your eggs in one basket with anything.
Yes. So. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, there's literally, like, you can, you're really building a brand. And that's what businesses are just figuring this stuff out now, too. Mm-hmm. They're just like, wow, we can reach so many different people if we jump on some of these different, like, platforms.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't know. It's just a lot. But really quickly, though, Mixer, I believe it is.
Yes.
I believe it's Mixer. I could be completely wrong on this.
Right? I think that's what it is. The thing that Ninja's on now.
Yes, they paid...
They paid him to get off YouTube and exclusively... I mean, YouTube and Twitch.
Yes. Which, who is it? Another YouTube... Game Theory?
I don't know.
I think they did a video on this too, talking about it. I believe it was them.
Like, how much did they pay him?
Yeah, they paid him a lot, but I don't know if it's going to be sustainable because of if they used all of their money to get him, there's no mid-tier creators creating other content. So it's like, you need to, that's what I mean, like, for a platform like that to survive, you need mid-level people as well to,
Right.
like, be on that platform. Because that's what kind of, like, helps the economy of everything. Like, just like with YouTube, you have your top people, but then you have, like, ton of mid-level people who are just bringing in a lot of different other users and people watching.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen with that. I'm not an expert in that.
I just thought you'd have an interesting opinion on it.
Yeah. But yeah, see, and that's my thing. There's so many different platforms. No one can be a true expert on them all. I mean, you can know them all, but to be a true expert in all different platforms and different things that are just coming up now, like there's like so many different other like platforms, like Periscope. Remember that?
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's still actually a thing. That's actually
Is it?
Yeah. It's still a thing. There's like other ones, like I think I forgot what it's called, but it's all related.
Wow, that was a deep cut.
Yeah.
I forgot all about Periscope.
I know.
Isn't that crazy how things just like fade into obscurity and then
Yeah.
you're like, wait a minute.
If it's Snapchat, I don't use Snapchat at all.
I don't either. I mean, I do a little bit.
I don't either. I don't.
I do a little bit.
No,
Like,
not to me. You don't be snapping me.
I do too.
No,
you don't use it, so you never open them.
Yeah.
I promise you, if you take out your phone right now, you have a snap from me.
Probably.
But like, I like follow people on it, like celebrities, and I always want to watch everything they do.
Even Twitter. Like, I don't really use Twitter.
I do. I use Twitter a lot.
I just started to recently again. You know, I remember at one point in time Twitter was like,
wait, hold on.
so hot.
I do use Twitter, but like I'm just on it.
You don't
post
tweet. You're right.
ever. Well, except for the podcast sometimes.
Yeah.
Or like if someone's giving away money, I'll be like, "Oh, I'll take that bait. What could it hurt me to retweet something?"
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like I don't really like tweet things.
Yeah.
'Cause like it's weird. I've had my Twitter since I think like 2012. And like I don't get suggestions for like people I know.
Yeah. It's just like,
So like I feel like that's a big reason I don't use it, because like I can't keep expanding like who I follow,
yeah.
because it gives me the same 3 people.
Right. So you're just like, I don't
Yeah.
care. Yeah.
So like I don't know, am I supposed to delete my Twitter and start again?
No,
You know what I mean? Like-
you can search people out manually.
But like I don't care that much.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So it's like, yeah. But I do want to say really quickly, I remember when Twitter was so, like, basically Twitter was like almost like your online, like, signature or your online profile. Like, it was like, that was like your number one thing. And I think it's Instagram.
Yeah, for sure.
But one thing about Instagram, and here's the other thing I want to bring up with the content creators and stuff like that, with businesses, now they're also learning, which is what I do even at my job now, the company I work for. One of them. Is finding content creators, like reaching out to them specifically themselves, like them, and saying, hey, I have a product. Would you be interested in showing this product, advertising this product directly in your video, or directly? Like, people don't understand. Like,
But like also like that on the other side happens to you. Because
Yes.
of your channel.
yes, that happens to me on my
So
channel.
that's weird.
That's what I mean. So I'm saying, like, this is all related. That's what I mean. Like, I'm just like, people are like, oh, this is a hobby. It's like, no.
Not really, no.
It's like, no. I mean, I get a tax thing from YouTube at the end of the year. So I mean, I'm saying, like, it's like legitimately, like, no, it is a business. The one thing I was gonna say, yeah. So we reach out to other people who are like, hey, we have a product. Would you be interested in showing it in your video? Could you, or even other websites? We can. But granted, that gets kind of. It depends on how you do it. It could go gray hat, like SEO wise, but if it's like a product review, it isn't. But if you're paying for backlinks, it is. But anyways,
That doesn't make sense to a lot of people.
Oh, I'm sorry.
What is gray hat? What is
Long story short.
what is backlinks? You know what I mean? Like
Long story short. Links to your website. Link getting a link to your website from another website helps you SEO wise, search engine optimization wise. Way back, see, that's the thing. Way back in the day, before, but Google's always updating their.
I love how
their
excited you get. I love it.
I'm sorry.
I love watching
I'm
you.
sorry.
Like,
it's just so much.
no, this is like what you enjoy, and I really enjoy watching you talk about it.
Well, good.
Sorry that I'm like not looking at the camera. I'm just like.
Don't do that. Long story short.
I'm a lame.
Yes. So with sorry, I just
don't agree with me.
No. I'm just trying to
like,
I'm trying to figure out.
You are a lame.
You just threw me completely off.
Sorry, I apologize.
So long story short, yes, Google was always updating their algorithm, which actually was cool. Google, they usually name their updates like after animals, like panda.
That's weird.
And like all this other stuff.
But like,
panda, penguin,
doesn't like Android do that too? And it's always like.
Oh yeah, well I don't know. It's not always. They had like gingerbread and like all this. I honestly haven't kept up with the Android updates. I used to. That's what I mean. Like I used to be much more into the IT side of all of this stuff. Now
you're like, let me make a company a couple $1 million.
But no, but I'm just like, but I'm still in the IT side. Like I still have to know how to like implement like stuff on websites, like the pixels to make the certain things work. But now there's so many different platforms out there that can build you a site quickly and efficiently. You still do have to go in and be able to know how to like update like a WordPress website, like how to like actually like you can customize the actual theme and do other stuff. So there's still like you still need to know some of those skills. But for a lot of like stuff that people are doing, you really don't. You can use like Wix and you'll be fine.
So like, okay, I have a question.
Okay.
And I was like thinking about this earlier when you told me you wanted to talk about this.
Okay.
Like, do you feel, how steep do you think the learning curve is for someone in your profession? Because I was thinking about
for nursing.
I was thinking about it for my profession, and like it's literally not even a curve. It's just like this. Like you're always going up, and you're never gonna stop going up. It's hard. But like, what do you think like the learning curve is for your profession? Do you think it's like real rough to get into?
It depends on what you get into. You get in like an entry level job, you can get in. You can get in as a content writer. That's what I mean. Like if you're a writer, you can get into this by doing that, because that's the other thing. Like you need, like there's always a niche that you can get in. Like with digital marketing, yeah, if you can become like a content writer, you can get in as being a blog post person, someone who writes their blog posts or who writes the ad copy for like the press releases that the company does, or writing the stuff for the emails. So you can start off doing that, and then you can learn another skill. Like, okay, how does the email run? You might need to know some digital graphic design to lay out the emails and stuff like that. But you can learn those type of things. You can learn how to do photography if you're actually like taking the photos for products or doing whatever. That's what I mean. So I feel like you can get in certain areas. Like if you're a photographer, you can get in through there. If you're, go ahead.
Do you feel like it's easier? I mean, I think this kind of goes without saying, but like it was just something I was thinking about. Like, like I'm not saying what you do is easy. That's not if it comes out that way, that's not what I'm trying to say. But understand. Like, it seems like people are a lot more apt to get into this kind of field because like we all grew up like, I mean like how like like your parents or my parents or anyone's parents be like, how do you do this? Like how do you do this? You know what I mean? Just like on computers. So like that's something that's so like deep ingrained. Yeah. That like. I feel like this generation, and definitely the generation after us, like, is more likely to get into this kind of field because it's like there is like a clear line where like generations were like intimidated by doing things online, and then like now
we're just like, yeah, let's just do it. Let's figure it out.
The internet is everything. Like tech is everything. Yeah. So, like, do you think it's gonna like explode?
Yeah, I think the old I mean, because like studies have shown like our generation is watching less and less of actual TV. We watch things on Netflix, YouTube, all these streaming services. So now advertisers companies are realizing, okay, we need to get in front of people. How do we do that? We gotta do it digitally through different means. Just the same way with like print ads, like literally mailing out catalogs. I mean, actually, but I still work. There's still companies that do it. I work for a place that does do it. But that's the thing. It's the truth. You're burying more people that get the catalogs every year than you're gaining people. So that demographic is dying off.
Plus, like, I feel like those kind of things are getting more and more expensive to do because they're less common.
Yeah, it's a lot of money just to mail off catalogs. And it's a lot of... It just takes a lot of time, too, to do that. And it's a much more, like, finite, like, okay, cool, we got to do this so many times a year. We have to change out the cover. We may change out a couple pages, but we can't really afford to do it. You know what I mean? It would be like your cost would be so much.
Yeah, even like how postage. Like, for example, my grandma is 96, and like every piece of mail that comes to the house is like, oh, this is something, it's important, and like us, we're like junk
immediately. Yeah. Which I did see. You ever see when they'll have like $1 in the thing?
And she falls for that shit every time.
See, and that is cost per click, because they're just like, yeah, we're gonna put $1 in here, so you're gonna open this thing up.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same thing that you're doing. I mean, but I would just.
But
take
it's just like
it's
just like a crazy.
Yeah.
Difference, like someone who's 96 and like I'm 27, you're 29.
Yeah.
Like
rip. I'm old.
Like most of our bills we pay online. We could pay a lot more, but like we just don't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I
think
like most of them are.
Yeah.
Some of them are. Yeah. Some.
And that's more of like a reminder to pay them, not like, oh, we need to pay it with cash.
I know. So I mean,
you know, even my parents, like, they still pay things with cash. My dad was telling me today how he went to go cash his check. And I was like, why do you not have direct deposit? Especially now with everything that's going on, like paper money and stuff.
I never have money. I literally never have money, which is I mean, you should have some money on you.
Yeah.
Can't do anything. I know. It's like I never have money on me. When I have change, I always put it in like a little like Ziploc bag. I have it with me at work for the vending machine.
But it's just crazy how everything has changed from generation to generation.
Yeah, definitely.
And, like, to be fair, like, our generation didn't grow up with cell phones.
Yeah.
Or, like, lots of us didn't even grow up with cable.
Yeah, I didn't until I was much older. Not much, like 10, 11 or something like that.
So, like, it is really weird. And I know it's, like, all over the internet. But, like, our generation is really unique in, like, we started with no technology. And now we are still relatively... in it and like younger and still actively like learning it. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Was it the Generation Z? This after us.
Yeah,
I'm very curious to see what's gonna happen with them, because like they're the next after us. So I have no idea. It's gonna be.
But it's just crazy. Like, I remember when I was younger, and my parents had like a computer that sat on a desk.
Yeah, I know.
And people had like computer rooms in their houses.
You had to go. It was an active decision. Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go on the computer.
And it was dial-up, so you couldn't use your phone.
It was like,
and people don't even have house phones anymore. Like,
I know.
I feel like our generation, more than any other generation before, or probably after us for quite a while, until like there's something crazy new that's completely in its own league. How like everything with us. Was I feel like we're very unique in the fact that like we were smack dab in the middle of like a
transition period.
Yeah,
it's a giant,
like a huge transition.
Yeah, like we've seen just the evolution of just so much. Like even I can't even, you know what I mean? Like it's so hard for me. It would be like unfathomable to think like someone for like your grandma to like.
And my grandma has a cell phone. Like she has a phone.
It's like. For her,
dude, people don't even use the word cell phone anymore.
I was just talking about this. Like, people don't even know how to use like an actual like rotary like.
She has one in her basement.
I know. That's what I mean. Like, it's crazy to think about.
Or like, what are those things? People are like, people don't even know what this emoji means. There's like a certain emoji.
I know. I'm trying to think.
You know what I'm talking about though? Like you've
Yeah.
seen that? I just can't remember what it is, but it's
I can't think of it. I know, but there was something.
Oh, or like they think like a pound sign is a hashtag.
Yes.
sign.
Yes, a pound sign.
Because like those, I mean, I guess they are still on our phones. Like if they're like, enter your voicemail password and then press pound. But like still, like, those aren't things that, like hashtags weren't a thing.
Yeah, it was.
No, that makes me feel like a dinosaur. I hate this conversation.
I know.
I hate it.
Like I said, one last thing before we end the podcast. I know I don't know how long we were going for a minute, like 40, 50 minutes?
Yeah, something
like that. One thing I do want to say, but with the advertisers going directly to content creators, they literally go out to them and say like, hey, we'll pay you if you can put this in your video, or if you can talk about this, or just show it. And that's the thing with Instagram right now. Like celebrities, man, people can pay like 20, 30 grand to do advertisement with a product.
Gabby Hanna was talking on her podcast, I think, about something with a dentist and something.
Oh yeah, you told me.
And she was like, not to be funny or like flex, but like they like $10,000 isn't even enough for me to post someone on my Instagram. And I was like, holy shit.
Yeah. So
like, dude.
That's what I mean. And now we have these kids who are making content, like toy stuff, and they're getting paid just crazy money by these companies, like Fisher Price and Legos and all this other stuff. They're sending them stuff, and they're like, do a video with it, because you know why? Because other kids are looking it up, and you know what they're gonna do? They're gonna tell their parents, "I want this." What actually?
Like even just like little kids who like. What are they always doing? They're always on, like, YouTube watching something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, even, like, that young, you're already watching YouTube.
Yeah. But YouTube did just get in trouble with, I don't know if you heard, they had the whole big thing. They were like, you can't advertise to kids. Or you can't collect data on kids under, like, 14 or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I forgot the act. It was a...
Yeah, because everybody was talking about how their YouTube channels were going to change and stuff.
Yeah, they did change it now. So now, instead of doing the more specific advertisement, it's much more generic in that for kids under a certain age. And that affected the Google Ads as well on the other side of things, because now we couldn't specifically like target like certain things. But see, just like with Facebook, how they got in trouble, they were like, "Oh, you can't do that. You're invading privacy." They're like, "Okay, cool. We're gonna back off." Secretly, I think they're still going on, but
hot take.
Just like, you know, I mean, it is what it is. It's just it's a lot of stuff though. But you know what?
So do you like what you do? Do you enjoy it? Where do you hope to go?
I like what I do. I think it's interesting. I think it's cool because you can always find another area to do stuff, and like even now, like I'm like, you know, like I can do consulting work and like do all this other stuff because of like there's always people that always other companies that need there's a need for this right now, and I feel like there's not that many people who quite get it yet.
And you've already been in the industry.
Yeah, especially in this area, like in more, like I said, like tech oriented, or like with a lot more companies that are way like ahead, like they already got this stuff going. But these smaller companies around here, they're just like, we don't quite know, like what should we do? Should we make a Facebook page? Like it's like all right.
So much deeper than
that.
it's
just like all right, well, what's your budget? What do you want? What are you trying to do? What are you trying to accomplish? Do you want to do this? You want to do that? There's so much stuff that you can do. So in a nutshell, I do like what I do. I think it's fun because it's always changing.
And it's cool that, like, once you have those skills, you can be like, you know what, I'm interested in this now.
Yeah.
And you can go to a completely different company that deals with a completely different product.
Yeah.
Because you already have those skills.
Yeah.
So where do you want to end up?
Where do I want to end up? I don't know. I do know. I do want to end up really focusing more on the YouTube like content strategy side of things. That's what I would like to do ultimately. That is working, I don't know, it could be working for another company, it could be working for YouTube themselves, because that's what a lot of things actually. A lot of the people who work with the YouTube Academy, they were content creators themselves, and they got hired with YouTube, which actually the thing that's going on with the whole, which I won't say the word because that will get your video demonetized, because they actually did prove this inside the actual video. But with the pandemic that's going on, YouTube Creator Academy, they did release a video, and the one person on there, he was explaining why they were demonetizing videos. They're saying they want to make sure they are slowly rolling out monetization for
monetization.
Yeah, you know.
But I did see on Twitter that they were like, we apologize. A lot of people are working from home. Like, you might see more content filtered out than is normal because it's all automated right now. Like, we're doing what we can. Bear with us. So, like, I did see that.
Yeah.
And at least they, like, got out in front of it. Like, it's still shitty, but, like, at least they got out in front of it.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's the other thing. So, in a nutshell, I don't know. Would love to do that. Or continue to do consulting work because it's cool working from home and work from literally anywhere. Or I don't know. I don't really know. That's the thing. Things are always changing. Who knows? Maybe tomorrow, like, TikTok will blow up and guess what I'm... Darn it, I'm going to be making some TikToks, or I'm going to be advertising on TikTok.
Right, yeah, exactly.
I don't know. But, yeah.
I love listening to you talk about what you're passionate about.
Don't do that.
Okay, be uncomfortable with my love. Anyways.
Right. This has been a funny episode. No, it's been a cool episode.
Definitely interesting.
Yeah. Once again, sorry this episode's going up late. This has been crazy.
It's been rough.
It's been rough.
It's a rough time to be a nurse in the United States.
Yeah, I've been working from home.
Or anywhere, I guess.
Yeah.
You know.
Especially. I've been at home for like the last... How long? I don't know.
Like a week?
Yeah, it's been a week. Tomorrow will be a full week, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
I haven't.
I know. But yeah, so with this, I don't know, this has been episode 7?
Yes.
Episode number 7 of the Moderately Interesting Podcast. You can check us out on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. We are also on Spotify and on iTunes right now. I'm going to see about any other platforms we should be releasing this on. You can also check the website out, geekswithcars.com. You can find me at OmegaGreed on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter.
Just look it up. It's probably me.
Yes. Links are down below. They're on the screen. You guys know what to do. Subscribe for more. Once again, this has been Mildly Interesting Podcast, episode number 7. And like that, we're out of here. Goodbye.
Bye.